Welcome, Fredrik, to Metalarium Pages. It's a pleasure to have you today to talk about Dream People's this new album, Metal Gods, and your upcoming tour. How are you doing during these days, the last band, the last days? Because this album is came from 7 years of absence.
Yes, this has been a little late, but that's how we are. We're the latest band around.
Okay, it's been seven years since your last album, Six. Why do we have to wait so long for this new album?
It was just like I don't know. What should I say? We had done writing for 2 years, and the album was actually done last year. So, and because of the release, it's almost a year, more than half a year actually. So that's how we come, and we have been occupied with families and a lot of stuff. So, but now we felt like now we have to do it, and then the process was pretty long this time.
Okay. So, was the songwriting and recording process for this album are similar to your previous one, or did it change a bit? Have you changed your approach to songwriting or recording over the years?
Yeah, songwriting normally is done by like everybody in the band, but it's done it's done by two people sitting down and do 4 or 5 songs. This time we met up like one time every week in the studio, in my studio, and somebody have an idea, and we were all 5 in the band working on the ideas, and so that maybe took a little longer. And some songs are made by, for example, our bass player and so on. So and also this time we decided to record everything in the studio. So we set the date for start and set the date for end, and then we did it. Otherwise, like the 6th album was, the guitar player was sitting home, and I think he was recording guitars for over a half year. So we were like, he was never done. So that was better. Like we did it like in the studio, so it was proper done.
Okay. Okay. So why do you choose the name Metal Gods for the album? How do you decide on album title tracks, track orders, and singles?
We were all like dedicated to that. That was because we had a song called Metal Gods, and was like that could be a good title. But then we also were discussing back and forth, is that, you know, we're not going to put ourselves as metal gods. And then our singer, he write the lyrics about how he met the metal back in the days. So it is like a tribute to some of the metal gods.
Oh, okay.
And then choose of singles was pretty easy actually. We said like as that the album title, we're going to do that first. And everybody in the band liked the song Chosen Force. And then we were discussing back and forward, and the last single was this song Fight in the Night, that we think is a pretty catchy song also.
Well, yeah, all songs are very catchy as always from Dream People. So, can you tell us a bit about the album artwork?
We actually contacted Seth, his guitar player in Septic Flesh. He did our United cover, and that's still my favorite cover for the Dream Evil album. And I had maybe something in mind like similar to that, but he came up with this idea of having, you know, one of the Greek gods as a front cover, and we were like, yeah, fine, that's nice. So there was a bit moaning back and forth in the band, but in the end, everybody likes it.
Okay, so usually for a band, each album is special. So what makes Metal Gods different from your previous releases?
I think this one is much better than the 6th album. Nobody in the band was really happy with that album, to be honest. And that's happened. You know, you cannot always do your best. And I don't know if this. We try to have a little bit of the Wayne from the first album, because there's been a lot of fans coming up to us when we're playing live shows and asking for, can you play a lot of songs from Dragon Slayer? So we kind of try to have that vibe when we did songs. So it's it's backward.
Okay. So, okay, what are the plans, talking about the promotion for this new album, what kind of plans do you have for these metal gods? Perhaps we'll embark in here in Latin American tours, more videos upcoming, or who knows, you're already working a new album. Who knows? What kind of plans do you have for these metal gods?
Plans we have booked right now is we're going to go to the United States and play on a festival called Pro Power. And then we have a 5-show tour in Australia in November. And also one show in Sweden. We just did Sweden Rock Festival, which is a really nice, super nice festival. For South America, it's kind of, we had a tour many years ago planned there, but sorry to say, but it's a bit mañana sometimes with the promoters over there. So that's actually something we have on our wish list to go to South America, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Mm.
We cannot just go there. You need to have some promoter to invite us.
Okay, well. So choosing a good single and the first track for an album is crucial today's age, where the people have short attention spans. So how does Dream Evil approach to this?
Like the song Metal Gods, that's only 3:30, and that's this kind of limit you try to have, and try to, make shorter songs, cut the crap, so to say. And yeah, I noticed that people, they want something to happen directly. I'm equal with that, because it's like if I see like a YouTube video and they say wait till the end, I skip the video or go to the end.
Okay. So you've always been a heavy metal band, even through there are hundreds of bands popping up all over the world thanks to social media. Do you feel any pressure or competition to stay relevant?
Yes, but it's like we are old dudes and it's hard to keep up with the social media thing. We went on a course for that with Sony Music, and you need to post stuff like 4 times a week, and for that also you need content. So you need film stuff and blah 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 blah. So I don't think we feel any competition, but it can be a little bit stressful with all this social media thing.
Okay. In the band's 25 years old, you've been through a lot. What has been the biggest learning experience for you guys as a band?
I think the most fun and privileged thing that happened to us is that we go out and play, and we play in England, and a guy from Canada coming there, and he telling that he was a heavy metal dude in the 80s, and then he heard our band, and he have all the Dream Evil posters and playing heavy metal music on loud volume in his house all the time. And maybe not, we have learned I have learned that you can affect people with music so much. I didn't realize that before we started the band.
Well, okay. So now, as you can see now, where there is a biggest thing in the world, artificial intelligence around everything. So how do you see the impact of the artificial intelligence on music? Do you see yourself using as AI tools in the future for songwriting, recording, album art, video creation, or perhaps you as a producer helping with this tool to help more musicians?
We for fun have done like AI music. Maybe you can use part of it, but it's also like, it's the fun part of creating music is to come up with it yourself. So I think AI will revolutionize the whole world, and the development of AI is extremely fast, and also for the movie industry, it's going to be. So, I don't know yet. It's very early still. So,
Okay. So talking about now other kind of topics, as you are a producer, which for you is the biggest things to have a band with your hands? How do you approach in a band that you hey this band like to produce or do we this band don't like?
Can you take the question again? It's noisy
Okay,
around here.
no worries. So how do you choose an option to produce a new band with a new album? And this what are the requirements for you are to see I will be in charge for the produce this new album for a different band in your studio.
For me, it's mainly it's just like if I like the music, it's then we go. So
Mm.
I do unsigned bands, I do some big bands, and also the chemistry in the band is pretty important. So people are not idiots. That's normally not the case in metal music. Absolutely not.
Hmm. Okay, we are very close to this interview, Frederick. And for this aspect, what is your opinion about now? Well, usually since the beginning, Dream Evil has a different approach to the heavy metal because you are stronger, harder, and always to songs that sing. Usually, since Dragon Slayer, always songs from Dream Evil are very catchy to sing in live, in studio. I don't know, a lot of things. But as you can see now, there is a new wave of heavy metal that try to reproduce the heavy metal as we listen in the 80s, like Judas Priest, a, a lot of bands from the 80s and 70s. But Dream Evil had a different approach for the heavy metal. So what's your opinion about this kind of approach to the new bands that are wearing the same clothes as the same bands like the 80s and 70s with the jackets with a full of patches, this kind of stuff? And obviously I think the hair is the same like the 70s 80s, the same approach in the style, look, on the sound, on the all obviously in the music. What is your point of view about this topic now?
I think it's cool, actually, to be honest. And I also work with young bands, not over 20 that play like kind of early in flame stuff. So I think it's like normally it's like 30 years and stuff coming back. Like the fashion in the 70s came back in 00, like in 2000. And that, yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We are, as I mentioned, we are close to this interview, Fredrik, and talking about a topic that changed the perspective of the understanding of metal worldwide is the social networks. As you tell me, there's a lot of you need to put a lot of effort now to publish, etc. According to requesting for Sony Music that you mentioned. So as you know today, thanks to this media, metal became more understandable and more comprehensible, and even lost the sense of impact, fear of mystery that it had during 70s, 80s, and 90s. When you talk about, I remember when you talk about brujeria in US, and from US, there is, I believe there, I remember when I was there, I remember that they were narco-satanic people, or talking about King Diamond. I was thinking that he lived in a castle with monster, dragons, this kind of stuff. Or Bruce Dickinson, some piece of someone in the 80s were for the sun. Or obviously, and also the black metal bands, church in burning churches, this kind of stuff. There's a lot of things, a lot of mythic, a lot of fear in the metal. I remember it because I was there in the 80s and 90s. So now there is no mystery or curiosity that metal gives you on a general level. What's your point of view about this move away from the fear, mystery, or curiosity that the metal had before, and now everything is comprehensible?
Oh yeah, it's a bit shame also. Like I remember, like you were waiting for that album, come out and all that stuff and this mystery stuff, and yeah, kids still need this, revolution thing, but maybe that's not, heavy metal that stands for that anymore. I don't know what music style stands for that, but time change and you just have to like it.
Okay. So, well, Fredrik, we come to the sad moments of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this interview as I did, and thank you very much for your time. This new Metal Gods is a tremendous album for the band. As usually, I listened for the first time when you released Dragon Slayer. I had the full albums here in my collection CDs. So maybe you have to add something to your Latin fans and obviously Metallarium followers.
Yeah, I wish we could come there and tour. It's for me a dream, actually. So, but you know, find the right people. It's not the most easiest way.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's something I really wish to do. I noticed that Latin American fans are really dedicated when they are into something. So